Hello everybody, and welcome back to another Sims 4 cottage living, but today is going to be a speed build for our new home. Now, as you can see, I have a little reference picture in the corner, and I'm also kind of laying out all the appliances, because as you know, in the Sims, it's kind of wishy-washy how much you'll actually be able to afford, because if you go too cheap, then you're going to have a lot left over, which is what I did, or you're going to go way too expensive and have, no wallpaper or something for a while. And so that's kind of what I was afraid of. So I made a generally small house, used pretty cheap appliances at the end. Like I said, I have a lot left over. So I'll go and show you, the replacing of some appliances that we can easily, make more expensive and more high quality. So this build is pretty wishy-washy, okay? Because, as you can see, I'm really happy with the way that this roof turned out. It looks great, the clipping is very minimal, it looks really good. But, towards the end, the front of the lot looks terrible. I don't know what I did, I'll explain all of that later, but I don't know what I was going for, but I somehow messed this up royally at the end. But overall, I'm really happy with the way this house, we're focusing on the house now, turned out. There's a really cute porch, we have the little side yard with the chicken coop, we have, a nice mixture of cottage and modern, because as you know, this is the cottage living / dream home decorator let's play, even though I mainly say, welcome back to the cottage living let's play. Those two things combined, because they came out pretty close proximity, and even so, I also, bought them kind of as a bundle, and so I kind of decided, hey, let's combine them. So I tried to do a general nice layout of both modern and cottage, because as you know, cottage is very wooden. Modern can be wooden, but in most cases it's more like carpets and white and black, a lot of white and black. And ignore this layout because it's not going to stay at all. Especially now I realize, I kind of made that house a little small. I easily could have pushed it back a little bit, but I was too stupid to realize that I had some extra room in the lot. So I'm really just trying to make do with the room that I have. And honestly, this is super cute. It's a really cute house, but it's really small. But then again, I mean, we're planning on having kids, right? So, probably in a while we might redo this house again. Who knows? But as of right now, I feel kind of like I like that cozy, because it also adds a little bit more of that cottage vibe. You know what I mean? Sorry, I keep when your nose is really dry and you feel hot, but you're also not. You know what I mean? That's what keeps happening to me, and I'm so I'm gagging. Anyway, enough about me. We're going to the build now, because actually we are focusing on the build, because I have literally nothing else to talk about. But I'm really happy with the way the living room and the kitchen seamlessly go together. Of course, you guys know I love those open floor plans. And not only that, but the way that Cottage Living and Dream Home Decorator, the living room from Dream Home Decorator and the kitchen from Cottage Living just really go together somehow. I don't quite know how, but they somehow do. And I'm really happy with the way this overall house turned out, because it's just it is so cute. It's so it kind of resembles me in a way. I don't know if that makes sense, but it's wow, this really speaks to me, because I love cottagecore stuff, but I also really as you guys know, love modern stuff. So it's kind of my dream home right here is the mixture of modern and cottage. And as you can see, I almost forgot that we had a dog. I'm gonna be honest with you. So that was kind of a last minute change right there. And you can kind of see the kids' room. I was okay, at the very beginning of the series, I wanted 2 kids, right? So I decided we're gonna have a toddler and a child at the same time. Yes, I know. Crazy. And I've already pre-recorded, that, spoiler alert, we do adopt. And I pre-recorded that. And, spoiler alert, low-key a mistake. But that's only because toddlers in The Sims 4 are butt awful. They are just, the most annoying things you're ever gonna meet. and they're so like just needy, and they're like, wah wah, like you're not giving me any attention. It's like, shut up, you know. Just like stop being a child and needing attention and just let me do my farm work. But the child, like the not the toddler, but the child is very nice. Very wonderful, and I'm actually really happy with the way their bedroom turned out because it might be very small, but I feel like they don't need a lot of room, you know? Like when she becomes a teenager, maybe that's when we'll do a renovation. I don't know. It all just kind of depends on how this house works because now we're kind of starting to get to the other half of the lot, which is when I got incredibly confused because I don't know. Because obviously, I want the greenhouse, right? But you need tall wall height for that, and that means every single thing on the lot will be tall wall height. And tall wall height is awful. Like, literally, like, I don't know how to. Maybe some people can make it work, but I personally do not know how to work it, so I just kind of used these columns to make a greenhouse. And again, like, that whole. This is where it starts to get gross and awful, because literally, what is the point of those triangles on either side? If you guys know how to get rid of those, please, for the love of God, let me know. Because it is so ugly. Oh my god, it's so ugly. And I also spaced these out really weird. I think a couple of them might be a little off center from each other. But, you know, it's not too obvious towards the end. Keyword too obvious. Because it definitely, yeah, this whole greenhouse thing, just, yeah, a whole debacle. And as you can see, I'm kind of like just trying to get the cow to work because for some reason you can place the chickens, but you can't place the cow. You have to assign the barn to the cow, which makes zero sense. So wouldn't that be the same way for the chickens if it's that way for the cow? Like, I don't know. But I'm also trying to use the terrain paint in a decent way that looks like it's kind of like worn, torn and worn. And, but that also fails. But now I'm trying to make a gravel path because I was like, you know, we have a lot of leftover money. Let's make this kind of a regal entrance. So I was like, let's do some fountains, baby. So I decided to add some fireflies around because that adds the majesticalness. And then I added this fountain. Now this is where everything goes awry. Because I'm trying so desperately to, like, kind of, you know, like those really big mansion sort of things. Like, they have a fountain in the middle, and then there's, like, a gravel path going around that goes straight to the house or straight to the garage, whatever the case may be. I was trying to do that, and this was probably the best I could get, but it still, like, didn't look right, you know what I mean? Because I wanted, like, something rounded, you know? But the rounded just looked wonky, and I just could not, for the love of me, get it right. And honestly, the landscaping doesn't help either, because of course we're either in fall or winter at this point, and of course all the foliage looks butt ugly, and that probably didn't help my case either, but just that whole entryway is where it really went awry. So, like, from the oversized crops up is where I'm most proud of, and then back is, like, terrible, because I just do not know how to work this terrain paint, because I so badly want it to work, because you guys can kind of, like, see what I have in mind, you know what I mean? Like, you have, like, these fun topiaries, you have, like, this really regal entrance, but I just could not make it work. But I do end up keeping these topiaries in, just because I didn't know how else to flip the space. And I was like, oh, honestly, when I first give you a tour of the house in the next episode that's coming after this, even I say, like, ignore the front. Because it really is, like, I was, like, building up all the suspense, and then I turn around, and it's just this awful farm. And honestly, like, I really wanted to make that sign work, too, but as you saw, every time I sized it up, it was, like, awful. It was just terrible. And I could not get this whole thing to work. It's just, it's a process. I'm definitely going to fix it at some point. I need to. maybe with your guys' help and suggestions, I'll be able to make that regal entrance work, because obviously I went pretty small with the house, so we need to make something big and regal with all our extra money, because as you can see, I'm gonna like upgrade some things, so we're left with about 14,000 something, but we still have a lot left over, so we can easily spend that money pretty quickly. But anyway, we're kind of wrapping up here. Like I said, I'm just replacing some things, adding in some activities for us to do, and that new tripod with Moschino stuff that hopefully we'll be able to get some family photos in, that don't require too much effort. But anyway, guys, I hope you like the house. Ignore the rest of the lot. Just imagine this is an only house speed build, and I hope you guys like it. Just everything is just going so wrong. I'm just like, I need to fill up the space somehow, but I don't know how. And yeah, so just ignore the rest of the lot and just focus on the house. And I hope you guys enjoyed that part. If you did, do make sure to like, a comment, and subscribe to join the Aqua Team today. And I'll see you in the next one. So long for now, my Aqua Team.